So yeah, Caitlin Clark is going to be an all-star. And if you guys have not seen the media, what the media are doing, I'm just sitting there like, why do they think this is going to be any different? Why did they think this was going to be any different? Because most of the media who are voting for Caitlin for the All-Star team. Why?
Fans of Ival are going crazy, and it has nothing to do with their team's defeat. The reason is that Caitlin Clark walked into the WNBA All-Star game as if she were the league's owner. She was given the golden ticket by the media. In Phoenix, the haters are now melting down more quickly than ice cream. Was it simply chaos magic, skill, or hype? This drama is messier than a group chat with ex-partners, so buckle up. Today, let's dive into the meltdown.
Caitlin Clark, the only WNBA player receiving over 500,000 fan votes for the WNBA All-Star Game. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, the Fever 4, sitting in the top 10 when it comes to WNBA fan voting for the All-Star Game. Every chance the Indiana Fever fans, every chance Caitlin Clark fans, every time they have a chance to show up.
Officially, Caitlin Clark is an all-star. Then came the Instagram edits, the confetti, and the utterly hilarious outburst from opposing fan camps who seem to believe that the world should be centered around their own idea of earned. Because nothing says, "I'm not mad," like sweating through your team's 14-21 record while ranting in all caps on Twitter at 2 in the morning.
So the two best players in the WNBA, at least to me, are all-star captains. That being Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier. Of course, Clark, Indiana Fever superstar. Collier, star of the Lynx, who is having an MVP season. Clark has had a little bit of an up and down season for her, relatively speaking, because she's been in and out of the lineup. Collier did miss a few games with a back issue as well. And of course, Clark had the shooting slump before she went out with the latest injury. Don't know how much that was related or is related, but Clark's impact on the floor is apparent when you see her there and when you see her off, and her numbers are still awesome. Not to mention, she's by far the most popular player in the league, and this is decided by fan voting, and it makes you feel good about what the exhibition can.
Let's not act as though we were unaware of this. Not only did Clark offer skill to the league when she first joined, gravity was what she brought, energy that literally shifts orbits. The ratings went up. The number of attendees doubled. Tickets for Beyoncé sold out more quickly than merchandise. And yet, here we are once more, caught up in the same haters' rerun, the never-ending story, where people whose teams would give up their starting five just to scent that type of buzz continue to call the girl who is putting up numbers and bringing an entire organization into relevancy overrated.
Pretty clear. There are two key WNBA players that are on a different level than the rest of the WNBA. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she's even another step up from the person that finished second. But look, it'd be irresponsible of me not to mention Napheesa Collier in all this because, well, she got over 1.1 million votes herself.
Nobody is an all-star if Caitlin isn't. What really is required these days, really? She uses her offhand to drain logo threes while spinning plates on a unicycle. During halftime, solve the climate change problem. We need to completely rethink the idea if a rookie with a persistent bullseye on her back manages to score 16.3 points, dish out 6.2 assists, and pull down 5 rebounds per game without being considered an all-star. We might as well do away with the entire game and substitute a cornhole competition with backup mascots.
Caitlin, when she's played, has been the best guard in the WNBA. She has. I mean this when I say this. It is it's not like she's like a stratospherically better than a Skylar Diggins, but she's been better when she's been on the floor than any other guard. Even in her slump, she had a 20 and 10 game. She had a 20 and 10 game in her slump. She set the record for most 20 and 10 games. She's the only guard with triple-double. She had a 32, 9, and 8. She nearly had a 30-point triple-double in a win against the Liberty, who at that stage were undefeated.
Caitlin Clark is changing the game just by showing up, like great players of every generation. People don't just watch because she's popular. They watch because she might do something incredible every time she touches the ball. She plays with confidence, making bold passes and breaking expectations without needing a spotlight. Yet some critics question her rise, digging through old games to find any mistake, almost hoping she fails. But the truth is, she's earned the attention by doing what few can.
Clark proves once again, nobody really started to care about the WNBA until she started playing. In 2023, in the WNBA All-Star voting, they got a total of 1.17 million votes, just a year before Caitlin Clark joined the league. 2 years later, 1.29 million votes as a single player.
Even if Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double by the third quarter with 5 steals, no turnovers, and played through an injury, critics would still call it mediocre or claim it's all part of a conspiracy. But this isn't really about merit, it's about someone new showing up, changing the game, and refusing to wait their turn. She's the fire, the fuel, and the engine, and that threatens people. Caitlin never asked for attention. Her brilliance just exposes everyone else's flaws. Every time she steps on the court, the game shifts. Defenses double her, refs stay alert, and teammates quickly adapt. This isn't luck. It's a masterclass in thriving under pressure.
Well, what do you know? What do you know? Caitlin Clark does it again. Shout out to Nafisa Collier. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier are named your all-star captains. Well deserved, well deserved. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Nafisa Collier is playing like the best player in the league right now. My front runner for MVP, playing for a dominant Minnesota Lynx team. This is right. You guys got it right. They should be the all-star captain.
Some of Caitlin Clark's loudest critics couldn't diagram a pick and roll if you handed them a Sharpie and a whiteboard, yet suddenly they know exactly what an authentic all-star looks like. Let's be honest, there would be more outrage if her name wasn't on the all-star roster than if the game were canceled. The league's most watched, most discussed, and most influential player can't be left out. And no, being entertaining isn't a flaw. This is sports, not a tax seminar. Without Caitlin, the All-Star game might be watched by players' families, a few interns, and a guy who forgot to change the channel. She's not just part of the WNBA. She's driving it, executive producer, brand ambassador, and marketing engine all in one. Yet somehow, her presence is treated like a problem.
By the way, there was no slumping Sabrina Ionescu. Like, Sabrina Ionescu had 32 or 34, and they still managed to win from Caitlin Clark. It is genuinely an unquestionable one that Caitlin Clark has been top 4 guards. And I think, it's unquestionable when she's played that it's top 4 guard. I think if you wanted to not vote her in, if 50% of the media people did not vote Caitlin Clark in as an all-star, and their logic was she hasn't played enough games, and the 4 all-stars were Alicia Gray, Caitlin's been better than Sabrina.
What's truly unfair is the effort spent trying to discredit Caitlin Clark while ignoring the bigger issue. No PR campaign has ever done more for the WNBA. She's not just a spokesperson, she's a movement. Her stats are elite, her vision is unreal, and her presence reshapes defensive strategies. Yet critics act like she's not enough, as if disrupting comfort zones disqualifies greatness. The truth? She's shaking the system like a Coke can in a paint mixer, and the loudest outrage comes from those most threatened by what her rise means. They don't hate her, they hate what she represents. Bold, undeniable change. Caitlin didn't just earn an all-star spot, she redefined what one looks like.
Delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built.
Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the WNBA, she is the plot twist. Her influence, consistency, and unapologetic purpose shine without asking permission. And if you're still not convinced, she'll probably hit your favorite player with a logo 3 at the All-Star game. That's the issue, isn't it? The WNBA isn't a pickup league where everyone gets a juice box for showing up. It's a business with sponsors, salaries, and seats to fill. While critics cling to nostalgia and talk about integrity, the league is doing what it must, spotlighting its biggest draw. Caitlin Clark is more than talent. She's the walking, dribbling stimulus package the WNBA has needed. If you think she'll be sidelined for the sake of principle, you're living in a world where ticket sales run on vibes.
She was number 2, which tells you exactly how freaking many votes Caitlin Clark got. Because Caitlin was first. We'll get to that in a second, but here we are, right here. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier named the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game Team Captains. Clark earns her 2nd All-Star selection, Collier her 5th. Both players are All-Star captains.
Let's be clear. No one is dropping $300 on resale tickets to watch balanced basketball or low-post defense. This isn't a coaching clinic. It's the All-Star game. And we're here for the sizzle, the sparkle, and the superstar wattage Caitlin Clark brings with a single raised eyebrow. Without her, it's Snooze Fest 2025, featuring backup centers and polite applause. The irony? While critics yell she doesn't belong, the real conversation is whether she should even risk playing. Because here's the truth. Caitlin Clark matters more than the game itself. We care because she is the moment. And no, we won't stay quiet to satisfy some warped sense of fairness from fans who'd rather watch their favorite player lose in silence than admit Caitlin is the engine behind the WNBA's survival.
Selected captains, well, they were selected captains by being amongst the starters receiving the most fan votes. And the way this all broke down is that it's 50% fan votes, 25% media votes, 25% player votes. So that's how it all came to be. That's how the breakdown of the way that the voting process goes and how the
Bob from Twitter, we're more worried about Caitlin Clark's knees than your barbershop opinions. She doesn't need to risk an ACL just to validate your crush. Honestly, Caitlin doesn't even need to dribble to be the main event. We'd still be glued to the screen watching for accidental eye contact courtside. Fans aren't easy to win over, we've seen it all. 4 years, WNBA highlight reels were shorter than microwave instructions. Attention spans are down, but Caitlin has held ours. She's turned casuals into obsessives and obsessives into full-blown analytics nerds. We care, deeply, and when she's missing, it's chaos, like a series finale cut mid-scene. Think we're dramatic now. Wait until she takes a hard foul and misses 3 games. The meltdown would shake the league. Without her, the WNBA's momentum could topple faster than a toddler's block tower.
Always something with the WNBA. So the first returns on All-Star voting recently came back. And of course, Caitlin Clark was ranked number 1 with the most votes, Nafisa Collier number 2, Aaliyah Boston number 3, Asia Wilson number 4, and Stu number 5. No problems with any of those. But I do have a problem with the All-Star voting. So for those that don't know, fan votes make up 50% of the All-Star votes. And 4 Fever players are in the top 10 for All-Star voting.
This league finally has a player who turns every game into a cultural moment, and some folks really think that can just be ignored. Please, there should be a waiver for that level of delusion. You don't ask Beyoncé to step aside for the backup dancers once the spotlight hits. Like it or not, we're living in the Caitlin Clark era. It's not favoritism, it's survival. This is business, and Caitlin sells like Girl Scout cookies outside a dorm. She's not just a highlight, she's the whole reel. And yet, somehow, people are still mad, offended by her excellence. Let's not pretend they'd respect her even if she dropped 30 points with no turnovers every night. They'd still cry conspiracy. That's not critique, it's denial. Pure and simple.
9 million All-Star votes this year. For reference, the top 30 vote getters for the 2023 All-Star Game received 1.17 million All-Star votes combined. She outdid the whole 2023 vote getters combined. And y'all are saying it's because of who too? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? This is not a needle mover. This is the needle. This is not the icing on the cake. Caitlin Clark is the whole cake.
This isn't just about basketball, it's about ego. Caitlin Clark didn't wait her turn. She showed up, took over, and changed the game. Whether she plays in the All-Star game or not, we'll back her because she's not a trend. She's the face of the league. She's the reason many even know the WNBA exists. Try sidelining her to please a loud minority and watch the real fans push back. This isn't just support anymore, it's a movement. And we're not backing down.